It did not end on a football pitch. It did not end with a final whistle, a handshake, a defeated walk to the tunnel. It ended in a stadium in Kansas City, where Iran's players weren't even present, watching from a distance as a 93rd minute equalizer in a match between Austria and Algeria extinguished the last remaining hope that their extraordinary, agonizing, unforgettable World Cup campaign might somehow survive. A 3-3 draw in a match Iran had no part in, against opponents Iran had never faced, after 90 minutes of football that had nothing to do with the Black Stars of Asia. That is how it ended. And after everything this team endured across 3 weeks in North America, the manner of their elimination felt like one final unnecessary cruelty from a tournament that had tested them in ways no squad should ever be tested. And then Mehdi Taremi spoke, and everything changed, because what Iran's captain said in the hours after that elimination about FIFA, about the promises made and broken, about the conditions his team was forced to compete under at the biggest tournament in their sport's history, has turned a story of sporting heartbreak into a direct, personal confrontation with the governing body that was supposed to protect them. Stay with us, because what Taremi revealed is not just about Iran. It is about what FIFA owes every team it invites to compete in its name. Let's first understand what happened on the pitch, because the football Iran produced at this World Cup deserves to be seen clearly before anything else is said about the context surrounding it. 3 matches, 3 draws, 0 defeats. In a group containing Belgium, the highest-ranked European nation in their group and one of the tournament's pre-tournament fancies, Iran never lost. In a group stage that eliminated 16 full nations, Iran's record was unbeaten throughout. They drew 1-1 with New Zealand, held Belgium to a goalless draw in a match where they created the most inventive goal of the entire group stage before VAR ruled it out, and drew 1-1 with Egypt in an injury-time drama that included a missed penalty, a header against the post, a VAR disallowed goal in the 93rd minute, and a crossbar struck in the final seconds. Across all 3 matches, the statistics painted a picture of a team that deserved substantially more than 3 points. The goals that were created and then taken away, the moments that should have counted and did not, the football that filled the stadiums and emptied the scoreboards. And all of it produced while carrying conditions that no other team at this tournament was asked to carry. Now Taremi has spoken about those conditions, and what he revealed has landed like a thunderclap across the football world. Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, visited the Iranian team's locker room after their opening match against New Zealand. He came in person, he sat with the squad and the coaching staff, and according to Taremi, he made a promise, a direct, face-to-face promise from the most powerful man in world football, that the issues surrounding Iran's travel and preparation would be addressed, that progress would be made, that the situation would improve. It did not improve. Match after match, the same conditions applied. The team traveled from their base in Tijuana, Mexico. They arrived in host cities under tight time frames that left them less preparation time than any of their opponents. And the recovery support that professional athletes at this level rely upon, the logistics, the medical staff, the physical rehabilitation resources that make the difference between a properly prepared squad and one running on empty, was not consistently available in the way that Taremi and his teammates needed. The captain's words were pointed and clear. He told the world that the president of FIFA had visited their changing room and made promises, and he told the world that those promises were not kept.
Think about what that means. This is not a general complaint about difficult circumstances. This is a player naming the specific individual who gave a specific assurance and describing in plain language how that assurance was not honored. It is an accusation against the organization that runs this tournament, and it is coming from the captain of a team that gave everything they had on the football pitch while fighting obstacles that their opponents never had to think about. The formal complaint that Iran's Football Federation had already filed with FIFA, lodged weeks earlier, requesting equal treatment in terms of preparation and logistics, had received no formal public response by the time their tournament ended. The organization that Taremi described as having promised progress in a locker room conversation had not communicated that progress to the world. And now, with Iran eliminated and their players finally free to speak without the fear that words might cost them something they were still trying to win, the captain has broken his silence. The football that Iran produced makes the silence feel even more significant in retrospect. Go back to the Belgium match and the moment that should have been the goal of the tournament. Captain Ehsan Haji Safi reading the defensive wall, threading a pass through the Belgian line that nobody saw coming. Mehdi Taremi controlling, pivoting, driving a low shot past Thibaut Courtois with the kind of technique and composure that elite football produces perhaps once in a generation. The net moved, the stadium erupted. VAR drew a line across a frozen frame and found Taremi's shoulder, not his foot, not his knee, his shoulder, marginally beyond the last Belgian defender. The goal was disallowed. Against Egypt, in what became the match that decided their tournament fate, the heartbreak was even more concentrated into a single evening. Taremi won a penalty and stepped up with the chance to put Iran ahead. Mustafa Schobert guessed correctly and saved it. In the 89th minute, Taremi rose to meet a cross and powered a header toward goal. The ball struck the post and bounced away. In the 93rd minute, Shoja Khalilzadeh rose magnificently and headed the ball into the net. Iran had won it. The bench was off the seat. The supporters were in celebration. VAR intervened. Khalilzadeh's position was adjudged offside. The goal was disallowed. In the final seconds, Saeed Ezzatullahi collected the ball 6 yards from goal and struck the crossbar. The final whistle blew at 1 apiece, and Iran waited, in Mexico, having made the familiar overnight journey that had punctuated their entire campaign, for results elsewhere to decide whether their 3 points would be enough. One by one, the doors closed. Croatia defeated Ghana. Congo beat Uzbekistan, and in Kansas City, Algeria and Austria produced a match that lurched through 3-1, 3-2, and ultimately 3-3, with Sasa Kalajdzic's equalizer in the 93rd minute slamming shut the last remaining window through which Iran might have passed. Iran finished 9th in the 3rd-place rankings. The top 8 advanced. They fell 1 position short of the history that a round of 32 appearance would have represented for their country.
Iran had never, in 7 World Cup appearances, advanced past the group stage. They came as close as they have ever come. They came unbeaten. They came having played football that produced a higher expected goals total than their points suggested, having held one of Europe's strongest teams to a goalless draw, having created moments of genuine brilliance on the biggest stage in their sport. And they came under conditions that their own captain has now described publicly and directly as a breach of the promises made to them by the president of the organization responsible for those conditions. The question that remains, and that FIFA has still not answered, is what happens next. Iran's formal complaint is on the record. Taremi's words are on the record. The locker room promise that Infantino reportedly made after the New Zealand match is on the record. The recovery staff absences, the preparation difficulties, the repeated exhausting travel from Tijuana, all of it now forms part of a body of evidence about how this team's campaign unfolded that the football world can read in full. Coach Amir Galenawai, speaking after the elimination was confirmed, found the sentence that his entire group stage had been building toward. He said that he did not believe any team in the world could have sustained the conditions his squad faced and still played as they played. He was right. And the football they produced, unbeaten, creative, emotionally resilient, technically accomplished against opponents with every preparation advantage, proves it beyond argument. Iran came to this World Cup as the 7th time their nation had tried and failed to advance from the group stage. They left with the same statistical outcome, but a completely different story. They left unbeaten. They left with 2 VAR-disallowed goals and a crossbar and a post and a saved penalty in the columns that the scoreboard never captured. They left with Mehdi Taremi's voice,
now raised against the organization that promised them more than it delivered. FIFA will respond. Eventually, it always does, in carefully worded statements with references to what was provided and what was attempted and what the official record shows. But the official record does not include what was said in a locker room after a group stage match by the president of the world's most powerful football organization to a group of players who trusted his word. Iran trusted that word, and Mehdi Taremi has made sure the football world knows exactly what happened when they did.